I'm gonna have to put a hole here so I can see the board.
Okay, so when we're talking about our tang, you guys gotta think about the tang tapering basically in every direction, okay? Eventually, and that means, you know, this way and this way, okay? Eventually we're gonna take a grinder or a file, and we're gonna put a bunch of little notches in the side of the tank and give our little shelf for our epoxy to catch onto our tank. Give it a little something to grab onto when we actually set that in the handle. So before we do the heat treating, we're gonna take little notches out of the corners, okay? Here and here, kind of opposite, okay? Now when we're thinking about our tang meeting up with our blade, if you have a tang that comes to your blade and comes to a straight 90-degree sharp angle and comes down, what that does is it creates a fulcrum cracking point right there, okay? Any stress wants to go right to that point. Instead, what you guys need to do is have, and it's probably going to be pretty small, but it's just a micro scoop, okay? Instead of that sharp 90, I want a little bit of a scoop in there, okay? That deflects a lot of that stress a lot more evenly than if you have that sharp corner, okay? Now, when we look at this blade, you got this back section here, okay? A lot of people, and this isn't with every blade, it's not necessarily true. You guys, you know, can make this judgment call for yourself. Some blades run cutting edge from tip all the way to the base. A lot of people, they'll actually stop their cutting edge about right here, okay? And they'll have a flat spot right here. This section is called the ricasso. Okay? That's a lot of times where makers will put their mark right there, okay? Put the name of their, you know, company or whatever.
Was he Picasso's brother?
He was.
All right, good to know.
The worst one. So we're gonna take our bevel probably up, you know, to about 2/3 of the way up. This spine is remaining flat, and this is being what is taking out. Okay. Now this is a little bit more of a hollow grind technique. Because we're leaving that spine flat, okay? Now if we were to take this cutting edge, it would be, you know, from 0 degrees down here up to the top at a flat, continuous angle down. You know, there's the side of your knife right there. That'd be called a flat grind. If you were to cut your bevel all the way up and take off that whole spine and just have a continuous taper from your cutting edge all the way to your spine, that'd be called a flat grind. Okay, you'll see a lot of kitchen knives that are that way. Hunting knives, a lot of them, or utility knives or something like that, they oftentimes have that spine.
Yeah, why do you even have a ricasso that makes it a pain to sharpen on stone?
It's mostly for the maker's mark. It also can be if your finger slips just a hair on your knife. But it's the main reason is the maker's mark.
If I didn't want a ricasso, could I not have it?
No, it's up to you. It's your judgment call on this one.
So the flat grind and the hollow grind,
Yeah, I put it in.
advantage to either? I mean, what's the difference as far as structure?
There really is no advantage. It's just a lot of times it deals with what kind of knife you're making, what kind of utility purpose you have for it. Okay. Now let me get into this a little bit. When we're talking about this angle, you have a range from 18 degrees to about 22 degrees as far as the degree you want your bevel to be at. You're talking about a kitchen knife, you're going to be more in the 18-degree range. You're talking about a larger knife that maybe you're going to be using out on the camp for hacking up logs and this and that. You're going to want a little steeper bevel. You're going to be going to 22. Most of you guys are going to be sitting right in the middle at about a 20-degree angle on yours. That's what you're going to be shooting for. Okay?
And is that tapered on both sides, or is that just against one side flat?
Both sides.
Okay.
You know, there are some single bevel style knives, Japanese kitchen knives are that way.
Yep.
How in the world will we know we're at 20 degrees?
Well, we have ways to gauge that.
We can basically